about 28 degrees out here, but you'll notice the snow's already melting off the inside. How the heck is that possible? There's a cord in there. Let's feel this. Oh yeah, this is just nothing. This just wipes right off. No scraping. No nothing. Nice. See how warm it is in here. Let's crawl in. Ah. What does she say? What does the giraffe say it is? Giraffe says it's about 60 degrees in here. Why? Because of that. And all the snow's just melting. I bet you the windshield wipers could probably take care of that. So what do I use to get a warm vehicle? This stuff right in front of me. And I used to do this all the time on my 78 Ford truck when it was a daily driver, because if you have older vehicles, you know how long they take to warm up. But the inside of the windshield, if it's nice and cold, it just keeps fogging up, so you'll be driving for the next 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and it still keeps fogging up. But this keeps, you know, even if it doesn't snow that night, just the frost, it keeps that just completely melted off the windshield. It just warms up the glass and warms up the whole interior, the fabric, everything, to the point that the windshield doesn't just constantly fog up for the first 15, 20 minutes while you're driving. So it's almost a safety thing on that thing. But I kind of, since I don't drive that daily anymore, I've kind of lapsed in doing it so much, but kind of started a little bit again, and I forgot how much I love it. But what I'm using is, and these are things you can find on Amazon, and I'll put some links to some that are good. But a timer. This is a mechanical timer, small, just a electric heater and an extension cord. I'm sure you have an extension cord. You're running a heater, so you want to use a decent quality extension cord. A thinner, 16.3 gauge extension cord, you'd be fine, probably at 25 feet or so. I probably wouldn't run a 50-footer at that small. I'd probably jump up to at least a 14.3. If you're running a 50-footer or a 100-footer, I'd probably even run a little bit heavier than that. But these generally, you need a couple things on them. Is 2 heat setting is nice. I usually like to run just a low heat setting, just to be safe, just as a precaution, versus the high setting. But you can run it on high. I've done both. It depends on how much room you have in front. If I only have 10 inches or so of room in front, I like to run it low. But if I have a vehicle and I have a ton more room in front, I'll run it on high, no problem. You just want to use common sense. These newer electric heaters are nice. They have thermostats built in, so you can set this to a temperature so it won't overheat. So if it gets too confined in an area where it's pushing heat around and warming up, you don't want to point this right at your cloth seats, but if it was warming up the area too much, it would kick itself off, which is nice. And these generally, all the newer ones have tip-over protection, so if it did accidentally tip over, the heat's coming, it shuts right off. It's kind of cool because you can have it running, you can tip it back and forth, and it just shuts on and off, just a little level sensor in there. And then a timer. Not a digital one. I don't really like the digital ones. I guess they're okay. Some of them you might be able to even get like a remote control, but I don't know if they'll actually handle like a 15 amps. But most of these mechanical timers will handle 15 amps, which is more than ample to run one of these, because 15 amps is about 1,800 watts, and these generally only run about 1,500 watts, 750 on the low setting. But these ones are one of my favorites. They don't have the little pull pin. I have a whole bunch of these, but they have the ones you got replaceable pins. Those are kind of annoying because you don't have as many settings. These ones, the pins are all built in, and I'll put a link to this. I actually really like this one. But you just push down these little tabs on the side, and you can have them come on anytime, here or there. But generally with these things, I like them to run about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, up to an hour, depending on how large the vehicle, before you leave. So if you leave work at like 7:30, you just have this come on at 6:30 or so. 6:30, 6:45, 7 o'clock. Try it out, and just when you come out, you just run this out the door. These cords don't, the weather stripping on a car door doesn't really mind these thin cords. You just have this sitting right outside. I like having this come out the driver's door so you don't actually forget it. You put it out the passenger door. Well, you'd get in, you'd feel it was warm. You'd probably not forget that the vehicle is nice and warm. But you have this coming out the driver's door, so right when you get in, you can just, unplug it, throw the cord down, grab this, throw this in the back, throw this over on the passenger side, out of your way, drop the extension cord in the driveway, you're gone. Your windshield's, any frost, anything like that is just melted away or really soft. It can just be brushed off if there's snow, or frost can just be windshield wipered away. So here on my 78 Ford truck, I would just leave the cord hanging right out the bottom of the driver's door, and I would just have it sitting right here, pointing that way. About 18 inches before it gets close to anything, and I got about 4 or 5 inches before the door. But pointed this way, bad idea. Heat's going right at the seat. That's not thinking. But that way, no problem. Heat would raise up, warm up the cab, and in the morning, the Hula Girl will be nice and warm, and there would be no ice on the window. There you go. I'll put a link to a couple of these things down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Thumbs up. And if you have any comments, leave them. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye.